But when you talked about Our Lady warning about this, what's going on in the air, that reminded me of Our Lady of Lassalette. And I happen to have, I got a stack of papers right here, and I was lucky to be able to find this particular quote. But Our Lady of Lassalette said, "The time has come for the most astonishing wonders to take place on earth and in the air, because true faith has been extinguished and false light illumines the world. It will be at this time that the Antichrist will be born. The demons of the air, together with the Antichrist, will work great wonders on the earth and in the air. Men will become ever more perverted." So this is just one of many prophetic warnings against deceptions in the air. And in fact, Scripture, talking about the powers and principalities, specifically warns about, in some translations, the atmosphere. And the church fathers repeatedly, especially St. Anthony, and I've got several other fathers of the church in the book who warned against the deceptions in the air.
And I think it's a quote from St. Paul as well, isn't it? There's some.
Yeah, St. Paul specifically warns about the demons of the air. They inhabit the air as a prison. And I can't remember if the prison thing was I think that was a church father. But yeah, St. Paul definitely. Yep. I think probably Ephesians maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
The specific quote is not coming to me at the moment. But yeah, Scripture warns against the demons of the air. The church fathers warned against it. And now private revelation warns against it more and more in recent times. In fact, I've got a quote from Father Gobi, and we need to focus more on Father Gobi. He's a servant of God now. You know, the Catholic Inc. career lay apologist types, they just hate him, obviously. But we need to not take that. We need to not just take that like doormats as people who try to listen to heaven's messages. He is a servant of God. Does that mean everything he said is infallible? No, of course not. But it does mean that this has a serious implicit approval beyond the explicit approvals that his volumes have, the imprimaturs galore. Anyway, so we need to focus more on the servant of God, Father Stefano Gobi. But he told Our Lady.
I've got the quote. Let me just, sorry to interrupt.
Oh, thank you.
Just read it. And it's from Ephesians, you're right, 1-2. "And you were dead in the trespasses and sins in which you once walked, following the course of this world, following the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that is now at work in the sons of disobedience."
The prince of the power of the air. And the church fathers understood that literally, because it is literal. That's not the air. That actually means the atmosphere there. The demons actually inhabiting. And of course, they can be anywhere where God's permissive will allows them to be. But they also have domains where their power is especially prevalent. Why do you think the UFO deception is primarily in the air and at night? It's because it's demons. I mean, 99% of the time, it's just a optical illusion or an airplane or something. But the remaining 1% of the time, it's demons. Yes, every single non-debunkable case is demonic. There are no actual aliens. So they inhabit the air. And when are most UFO encounters? Right after dark, or they pick up, obviously for obvious reasons, right after dark. But what's the other? I think I might have brought this up last time. What's the other time they really pick up? 3 a.m.
Oh.
Gee, I wonder why UFO sightings pick up so much at 3 a.m. It's too obvious to even need to be said.
Is that the satanic hour?
Yeah. So, and of course, all hours are God's hour. But yes, the devil loves to pervert the things of God. So he's going to try to pervert the sacrifice of Christ on the cross at 3 p.m. with his own marvels at 3 a.m. And that doesn't mean everything that happens at 3 a.m. is demonic. It just means that, yes, that's one of the proclivities of the demons is to try and mock Christ's death on the cross by doing things at 3 a.m. Don't get superstitious about 3 a.m. Don't worry, there's nothing wrong with 3 a.m. I'm just saying there's a proclivity there.
At 3 a.m. that just means go pray your chaplet if you can't sleep.
Exactly. That happened to me in Medjugorje. I was sleeping and something fell and crashed in the bathroom, and then out of nowhere the alarm went off, which I did not set, and I look at the clock and it's 3 a.m. exactly. So I realized that was my call to go hike up Apparition Hill in the middle of the night, which I did, and it was great. So sometimes, holy things can also happen then. But anyway, or maybe it was maybe a UFO told me to do that.
Me, I don't know.
I'm joking, but it's true. They're trying that Catholic scholar I've noted before, Pasulka, she's trying to reinterpret Garabandal as a UFO also.
Fatima as well.
definitely Fatima, but even Garabandal. And it's funny. It's like she knows about apparitions that most mainstream people don't. And she thinks she understands them, but she doesn't. She just studies them as a secular scholar with no actual mystical grasp of them whatsoever. So it's really, her case is one of the saddest cases because she is the Catholic name for UFOs, and she's one of the biggest names.
So she's been on some major Catholic YouTube
she's been on
as well.
She's been on, I don't want to name more names than I have to, but she's been on the biggest Catholic name you can imagine, the biggest Catholic platform you can imagine.
Wow.
And she's also been on the biggest podcast in the world. She's been on Joe Rogan's podcast. Right. So you really can't get more of a celebrity than she is. And she has become the de facto global spokesperson for Catholic UFO stuff. And she is explicitly rolling out the red carpet for the Antichrist. It's I'm laughing so I don't cry is the only reason. Yeah. But it's unbelievable. I hope she reads more Father Gobi, as I was saying, though, because
yes, I was going to mention Gobi, that. Yeah.
Our Lady told Father Gobi, in these times of purification, my adversary succeeds in seducing even the good by false manifestations of the preternatural in order to bring about deception and confusion on all sides. He will succeed in working many prodigies, which will beguile the minds even of the good. And this is the most tragic part of it, is how many good, well-meaning Christians fall for the UFO deception because of the false marvels. They think, oh, look at all these sightings. All these people wouldn't be lying. I'm not saying they're lying. I'm saying there are preternatural demonic manifestations going on here, as we've been warned of since Scripture, since the fathers, and now in private revelation. We should have known to keep an eye out for this, and now it's happening. And people are falling for it. Why? Because Jesus isn't enough for them. They want salvation from some other name other than Jesus Christ. They don't call it salvation, of course. They know as quote, good Catholics, good Christians, not to call it that. But that's where their heart of heart is. They've become bored with Christ. They've become bored with the faith. So they look for the next great thing, the next ultra enlightenment, the next, the world being saved, not by God, not by Jesus, not by the triumph of the divine will, not by the triumph of the Immaculate Heart of Mary. No, they look for it from the intervention of the extraterrestrials through the day of disclosure, which everybody's saying is now imminent.